Hello, I'm here to talk to you about one of the most controversial and revolutionary ideas of the scientific world, stem cell research. It is my wish that we will be able to use this incredible discovery to better benefit humankind by fighting diseases. Now let me first begin by explaining to you exactly what a stem cell is, where they come from, and some of the innumerable capabilities that they have. Stem cells are biological cells that are found in all multicellular organisms. They divide through mitosis and differentiate into diverse specialized cell types and are able to renew themselves to produce more stem cells. They serve as a sort of repair system for our bodies and can divide pretty much limitlessly to replenish the cells that are needed. They can also develop into a cell with specialized functions such as red blood cells, brain cells, or heart cells. In some parts of the body, they are regularly dividing to repair parts of the body, such as in the bone marrow, but in other parts like the pancreas and heart, they only multiply under certain conditions. They are the very foundation of life and the original prenatal form that we all developed from. Every fiber of your being all came from one totipotent stem cell. Now there are different types of stem cells. I will begin by explaining the most powerful, the totipotent stem cell. They all come from a fertilized zygote cell and are found in the morula, which is an embryo at the early stage of development. While these are the most powerful and the ones with the most potential in terms of development and growth, there are also many ethical issues regarding this specific type of stem cell. This type of stem cell is also classified as an embryonic stem cell. All stem cells have the potential to develop into different cell types, but totipotent cells can develop into any cell type, which makes them ideal for cell and gene therapies, as well as tissue engineering for transplant and replacement of diseased cells. This makes therapeutic value of totipotent cells very enormous. Then there are the pluripotent stem cells. Pluripotent stem cells can develop into fetal or adult cell types. However, alone they cannot grow into fetal or adult animals because they lack the potential to contribute to extra embryonic tissue. They contain an immense amount of information and also have great potential. They are also classified as embryonic stem cells. Next come the more specialized stem cells, such as blood stem cells, nerve, muscle, bone, and other tissue. These can develop into a certain part of the body, whereas the others have the capability to develop into any part or function. These are referred to as adult stem cells. An adult stem cell's main job is to maintain and repair tissue in the area where it is found. Adult stem cells from bone marrow have been successfully used in transplants for about 40 years now. They could be the basis of our stem cell transplant therapies. By learning and finding out more about this process of division and infinite multiplication, we can discover more about cell diseases and how to prevent and cure them. As wonderful and hopeful as this all sounds, there are still many things in the way of stem cell research, such as the ethical concerns and arguments about abuse of human life. A few of the main arguments about how this knowledge will be used and the morality of the methods involved to obtain this precious information. Some of the pros include ways to cure Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's, heart disease, birth defects, spinal cord injuries, replacing and repairing damaged organs, reduced risk of transplantation, and stem cells that may play a major role in curing cancer. Some of the cons are that we should not mess with human life, and people say that humans should not be trying to play God. Some even argue that stem cell research in the far future can lead to knowledge on how to clone humans. It's hard to say whether this is true, but we have seen devastating consequences of other research programs, even with good intentions, such as nuclear research. And the other debate about the methods involved. The benefit of stem cell research is so great that it would outweigh the ethical issues. If someone's going to have an abortion, isn't it better for it to be used for something useful? Adult stem cells would not be that interesting or helpful because they do not have the same properties as embryonic stem cells. The research would give great insights about the basics and functions of the body. But some cons against this are that the ethical scientific work on aborted fetuses do not justify the possible benefits. However, there has been a solution found to this. And a life is a life, and that should never be compromised or abused. We should and will develop more ethical methods, such as using adult stem cells, which will enable us to research ethically. However, scientists have already overcome some of these huge roadblocks with something called induced pluripotent stem cells. The standard way to make induced pluripotent stem cells for medical research is to scrape skin cells and mix up their internal clocks, coaxing them back into pluripotency over a matter of weeks. then they have the same capabilities as an embryonic stem cell. Because these skin cells can take a couple of weeks to be coaxed back into pluripotency, some scientists at Stanford University of Medicine decided to try developing stem cells from a different part of the body. They discovered that adipose fat cells were much more efficient in being turned back into stem cells. These fat cells are easily attained and ready to culture the same day they are taken out of the body via liposuction. They can be turned into pluripotent stem cells with twice the speed and 20 times the efficiency as the skin cells. So far, these stem cells have been used to treat diseases such as damaged heart tissue and Parkinson's disease. Different types of cell-based therapies are going to be available through these stem cells because of their unique regenerating ability. There are some treatments that are already available. For years, we have been using things such as prosthetic legs, arms, iron, and metal plates to repair the broken ones inside of us. What if instead of putting a fake body part in us, we could regenerate the disabled ones? Instead of coming out of a treatment with an entirely new body part, we could just have repaired our own with the most fundamental elements in our bodies. We could potentially develop entire limbs from a single cell or group of cells and replace the damaged ones inside of us. Instead of treating the symptoms of diseases, we could find them early enough to treat the disease itself and get rid of it completely, instead of just warding it off for as long as possible. But like most medicines, these stem cells have a slight hitch. They have potential to cause cancer and possibly other effects. The scientists need to find out which subgroup of cells is the most easy to reprogram back to pluripotency, which will be the most successful, and that the FDA would approve for a clinical trial. With stem cells at our disposal for scientific research and medical development, the possibilities are pretty much endless. But science is a long and drawn-out process. It takes experiment after experiment and 1,000 different adjustments to get a treatment to work just right and be safe enough for human use. Hopefully, through lots of research and trial and error, we will get around all the ethical concerns and be able to use this revolutionary idea and discovery to help people. The benefits are infinite. Helping to reverse degenerative diseases and even avoid them completely would be absolutely amazing. I hope that in the near future, we will be able to use this remarkable research and tools to help benefit people everywhere. Thank you.